Anytime I got you, you the one that I run to. Need to run, claiming that you done, yeah. Shit, I just wanna love you, and girl, you know I'm for you, and girl, you know I need you, working just to keep you, stressing for no reason, hating when you leaving, you know I'm for the healing, yeah. Things change, things happen, you the one that made me happy, slide here, no practice, do we love you like I do, care for you like I would, care for you like I.
And before you guys continue, make sure you stop and check out my previous video on how I constructed this frontal wig. This is part 2. So now I'm at home. Thanksgiving break is over. I've eaten all my food and I've been wearing the wig for a week at this point. And the night before this, I actually went to sleep without a bonnet on, so it was a little bit tangled, but that was my fault. But I just wet it and I combed it out, and look at the curls. Look at the curls. Curls for the girls. Hey. And this is my braiding pattern. I have 8 braids going straight to the back. Got my pippies in, and they're hanging like that just because of how I had an end under the wig. I am taking some of this got to be glued, and I am taking it and I'm just running it over my edges. And this just makes sure my hair is out the way when I'm trying to put on the frontal. So I'm just licking it down, sticking it back, taking my comb, combing it out a little bit just so the product gets in the hair, and just to slick it back a little bit more. And I'm taking this scarf and I am placing it on my edges and tying it up. And I'm going to let this sit for you don't have to do it that long. I think I did some laundry. I folded some clothes for 10 minutes and then I came back. So after that, you take my scarf off and your edges should be laid with the T. Y'all, laid. But yeah, so this is the wig as you saw before. I am about to put her on, and as you can see, I do not cut off that part underneath the frontal, and I'm just showing you how my braids are positioned while I put the wig on. So I'm taking it and I'm holding it frontal facing me, and I'm gonna put it on the back of my head first just so I can make sure the braids are in there because this wig is so snug. So I'm pulling up the cap. You want to make sure you pull it up at this point because you can't go back and pull it up after you put your frontal on. And you can see that you cannot see the cap once I pull it forward, the frontal forward. I'm taking some of this alcohol and I am just cleaning up my hairline just because I had a little bit of makeup on. Well, a lot of bit of makeup on. Why am I lying? You just want to get that off so the oils do not prevent the wig from sticking and mess with the glue. Well, the gel. I'm taking a thin layer of the got to be glue. You could clip those baby hairs out of the way. I couldn't find a clip at this point in my life, so I was just like, fuck it. I'm gonna blow dry this first layer. You want to make sure it's dry. You want to blow dry it on a cool setting as well, just because heat will just make it slip. And you want to add a second layer of this got to be glued. And I'm not gluing down the whole frontal hairline. I mean, you can do that if you want to, but the way and style I'm wearing the wig doesn't call for that. So I'm not going down the whole thing. I'm just doing from kind of temple to temple. You don't have to glue all the way down all the time. So got the second layer on, blow drying the second layer on the cool. I had the plug in my hand. Y'all saw it was fake blow drying, but it's for y'all. I just couldn't reach the outlet at that point. So I was just going, show y'all. So I'm taking the got to be glued freeze spray, and I like this stuff. It it gives a better hold over a longer period of time. So instead of a day, I'll get 3 days, and maybe if it's cold outside. And I just spray it on, and I'm just running over it with my finger to spread it out. So I'm readjusting the cap. And I am taking the frontal and I'm laying it just a tiny smidge above the glue. Well, in front of the glue, I guess. and then you want to press down. Try not to use your fingers. I didn't have a mirror, so I was just like, let this thing, get on my head. But if you use your fingers, you might turn the gel white. So you want to take a rat comb like I did here, and you just want to go over the lace where the glue is and pat it on down. Pat it on in there, girl. Make sure that frontal don't come off. So after that, you blow dry it. You can tell I'm faking again. But I just want to show y'all like exactly what to do. You're going to blow dry it on a cool setting, like I said before, and pat it down with the rat tail as you go. And you want to do this until you know that it's dry, because if you do not, it will slip off and you will be salty. So if you see a little bit of the frontal coming up, you could just take your rat tail, put it on the end, get it under the frontal, and then pat it down with the back end of the comb, and then it should be good. Okay, so I am now going to work on the baby hair. I already parted out a section that I wanted to use as my baby hairs on the frontal already in the bathroom. Just because I don't think I could, do it on camera. I wouldn't be able to see right. And I'm taking this thinning shears, and I am just cutting the hair, and then I'm doing it again on an angle. I'm taking more of my Got To Be Glue, just a little bit. I am placing it on the baby hairs, and I'm slicking them down with my rat tail comb. I mean, you could do your baby hairs how you like. I mean, you can customize them to look how your real baby hairs look, which is what I kind of did. But, I mean, or you can, be a fancy bitch and do whatever kind of baby hairs you want. But, yeah, I'm just slicking them down with the Got To Be Glue and the rat tail comb. And you don't want to use too much of the Got To Be Glue, because like I said before, it will turn white. In a way, if it does turn white, you can get a tissue, paper towel, or anything, cotton ball, or even your finger, and just dab some water on it to remove some of that glue, because water is Got To Be Glue's worst enemy, baby. Like that stuff, as soon as it hits water, like, it's coming up, like, seriously. So yeah, I am now taking that same scarf, and I'm making sure it's flat on one side, and I'm just placing it around the baby hairs just to let those lay for a few minutes. And guys, make sure your scarf is even before you tie it, or you're going to end up like this. Now, I personally don't like to take the scarf off once it has hit the baby hair, just because the Got To Be Glued is on it, and I don't want anything to mess up. And that's just me acting crazy in the back. And I'm back. I am back with wet hair. I have wet the wig again, and I'm just combing through it, just to get any tangles that may have come from me putting on the wig out. I'm taking some of this BB foam moisturizing wrap lotion, and I'm just doing this to have more defined curls. So you just want to put it on there, run it all throughout the hair, and don't forget about underneath the hair as well. And you don't have to use a lot, just enough to get like a nice little coating, and then you could just comb the rest through. Now, as I mentioned before, the curl pattern on the frontal was a little different. So in this front part, I'm going to put a little bit more than the rest of the hair, just because the curl pattern is a little tighter, and I wanted the curls to hang a little looser down on my face. So yeah, I just put a little bit more on the frontal piece, and I'm combing it through. And I can now take off my scarf and reveal those baby hairs. Yes, honey. Yes, shine, baby. So, so yeah, that is all I did. I'm taking my hair and I'm flipping it over. I like wearing the curly hair on my right side. So that is it. That is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys learned something. Stay tuned for more videos, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.
with you, London.